This is the story of the beginning of the American Windsor Chair. The favorite chair among the rich and the poor for at least 100 years. Primarily because the chair was so comfortable and because it was so easy to construct.
It never cost much, so everyone bought a Windsor.
This story is also the life story of an American chairmaker, Francis Trumble. He worked in Philadelphia from the 1740s to the 1790s. Unfortunately, his image is lost to history, so we'll substitute the photos of other woodworkers and cabinet makers in that same era. But we can see the signs of his craftsmanship that were left behind in his Philadelphia workshop, and how he updated the style of the Windsor chair to better represent our new nation. For he was the one that made and sold the chairs for the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So join us in the telling of the life story of this craftsman.
In this city, I shall find success.
He walked into town seeking a place to rent and establish a new business. Down Alfred's Avenue, where he found a tinsmith shop that was owned by Nathan Allen with a room to rent.
Well, welcome to Philadelphia.
Mrs. Allen showed him his room and a space on the root cellar for his future workshop.
Come this way, he's in the back.
Now I'm ready to open my own shop, but I'm worried about finding suppliers, dealing with competition, and having enough money to pay for services.
I believe there's a market for American copies of fine English furniture and Windsor chairs.
In a month or so, Francis had a shop set up and began to make furniture. His records show that he built a walnut table for his landlord as part of his effort to pay off £9 annual rent.
Yes, Mr. Trumble, do sit down. These chairs are so comfortable.
He would use the hickory tree to create the flexible spindles. He chose the poplar tree because he could find wide planks that he could carve into a comfortable seat. Finally, he would use maple because it was strong enough to hold its shape when pounded into a leg and driven into the seat. Then he planed down a thick piece of yellow poplar for the seat and cut and shaped the plank in a D shape with his draw knife. He brought the pieces to a turner to shape the legs and the stretchers. To finish off the chair, he shaped the straight top piece called a comb. The comb was steamed in a copper kettle for 45 minutes, and then he slowly bent the top around a circular form to finish the piece. In a few days, he had assembled all his parts and finished the chair.
Now that looks good. Good day to you.
Oh, do you feel the presence of the Lord? Those arrangements were made through the nearby Quaker meeting house.
I changed the design when I sold this chair to a husband as a gift to his wife. He called me later that night. I had to ride out with him, and then I had to cut a perfectly made ball foot off my chair so his wife's little legs could touch the floor.
His final change was to adopt the sack-back design with its bow-like crest rail for most of his sails.
Good afternoon, beautiful.
By the 1760s, Trumble was shipping several dozen chairs by river and then overland to the Elk River area in Delaware.
Well, I say, no taxation without representation.
Returning to his shop, he began to see his Windsors as a new patriotic chair, affordable to all citizens, with no old-world fussiness. In 1773, Trumble's business continued to surge, and he took on 3 more apprentices, and the shop began to store needed parts.
Hey, what's going on?
Wait, he's about to speak.
So, my friends, if war England wants, war England gets.
Before you knew it, men from the 12 other British colonies were pouring into Philadelphia to see if they could join together in support of Massachusetts. They were to meet in the State House in the next 7 days for a congressional congress.
Mr. Trumble, I need a favor. With all the delegates arriving, you know we're not ready. I want you and your crew to make the chairs for the congressional session.
His crew then worked 18 hours a day during the next 7 days to prepare the needed chairs. Then, on the morning of the opening session, each chair was put in place. The Congress will come to order! Then they voted that a committee of 5 should draft the Declaration of Self-Determination from England.
Ben Franklin, I have too many ideas. I just have to move.
Then Jefferson bounded from his chair, said he had a project to solve his restlessness, and dashed out the door. At the nearby cabinet shop, Jefferson explained his idea of anchoring down the bottom half of a chair seat and allowing the top half of that chair to rotate.
Yes, that's the idea. Then you want me to anchor an iron shaft on the bottom half, is that right? And allow rollers that I take from that window sash to allow the top half to rotate. Oh, this is perfect.
Now being able to move like the branches of a tree, Jefferson's ideas began to percolate. Then, on June the 24th, 1776, Jefferson rose from his Windsor Chair and turned over the Declaration of Independence.
All in favor?
Yeah!
Yes, Virginia will sign.
And for support of this declaration, we pledge our lives, our fortune, and our sacred honor.
And at a cabinet shop down the road, Francis Trumble knew that from this day forward, people would buy a Windsor because national patriots had used the same chair.